He had always been the louder success. Family gatherings ran on a familiar script, his promotions announced before dessert, his opinions granted the weight of expertise regardless of topic, his confidence mistaken for competence. She learned early how to occupy the quieter spaces, refilling glasses, clearing plates, listening to conversations that rarely bent toward her. When he became a director, the news arrived with celebratory urgency. There were messages, calls, photos of the new office, the new title embossed beneath his name. Pride traveled easily through the family, swelling around him like a shared victory. The remark came later, during a casual visit. "Go apply for the receptionist role," he said, smiling with the easy cruelty of someone who believes they're being charming. "Maybe I'll hire you." The room laughed in that thin, uncomfortable way people do when they sense something is off but prefer not to disturb the mood. She smiled too. Years of practice made it effortless. No one asked what she was working on. No one asked what had quietly shifted in her life over the past year. Because the shift had been deliberately quiet. The acquisition hadn't been dramatic. No press releases with her face. No triumphant announcements. It was a strategic purchase arranged through layers of corporate structure, negotiated over months of cautious conversations and legal precision. Her name sat on documents that mattered, not headlines. The company had been struggling long before her brother arrived. Declining performance, structural inefficiencies, leadership decisions that looked impressive externally, but hollowed things internally. By the time she stepped in, the problems were already entrenched. She did not think of him when she made the decision. Or at least, that's what she told herself. The first day she entered the building, nothing about her presence invited attention. No entourage, no theatrical introductions. Just another executive moving through corridors shaped by fluorescent lighting and habitual urgency. The leadership meeting was already in progress. He spoke with authority, outlining projections with the confidence she remembered from childhood, bold numbers, assertive conclusions, the familiar cadence of certainty. Some nodded, others took notes, no one interrupted. Until the door opened. The interruption was subtle, no dramatic pause, no gasp of recognition. Just a quiet recalibration of posture as the senior board member entered beside her. Introductions were procedural. Titles first. Roles clarified, authority defined not by personality but by structure. Her brother's expression changed in increments. Recognition did not strike like lightning. It arrived slowly, visibly, moving across his face as context rearranged itself in real time. Confusion first, then disbelief. Then something closer to calculation, because hierarchy, he understood. What unsettled him was its inversion. The meeting continued. No speeches. No references to family, no indulgence of history. Just performance metrics, operational realities, decisions framed in the neutral language of corporate necessity. The deficiencies had been documented long before that morning. Underperformance. Strategic misalignment. Leadership concerns raised repeatedly by multiple departments. The conclusion had not been impulsive. When the decision was formally addressed, it carried no theatrical edge. It was administrative, measured, final. He did not argue. Not immediately. Silence expanded in the room, dense and unmistakable. The kind that presses against the ears. The kind that exposes the fragility beneath confidence. There were questions, but not from him. Procedural ones. Transition logistics. Interim management structure. The meeting ended without spectacle. People exited with the careful neutrality of professionals trained to witness power shifts without acknowledging their emotional weight. Conversations resumed in low tones. Screens lit up. Work continued. He remained seated. She gathered her documents slowly, aware of him without looking directly at him. Years of familiarity made avoidance feel strangely intimate. "You could have told me," he said finally. The accusation lacked force. It sounded less like anger, more like disorientation. She considered the statement. There were many possible answers, none of them useful. "This isn't personal," she said. It was the only response that belonged in that room. He laughed softly, but there was no humor in it. Isn't it? For a moment, the old gravity pulled at her, the familiar urge to explain, to soften, to repair the discomfort that had always followed his sharpness. But the environment imposed its own discipline. Context mattered. Roles mattered. Boundaries mattered. "It can't be," she said. The distinction settled between them, cold and immovable. What followed was not dramatic hostility. It was worse: distance. Professional courtesy replaced familiarity. Language grew formal, interactions became rare, filtered through processes and intermediaries. The relationship did not explode, it thinned. Family gatherings changed texture. His absence was explained politely at first: scheduling conflicts, travel obligations. Eventually, explanations became unnecessary. Silence filled the space where commentary once lived. No one mentioned the meeting. No one mentioned the remark about the receptionist role, but something fundamental had shifted. Not just power, perception. She found no satisfaction in the outcome. There was relief, perhaps, a quiet restoration of equilibrium. But victory, if it could be called that, carried an unexpected aftertaste, not triumph, but a muted sense of loss. Because authority could correct hierarchy, it could not repair intimacy. In the end, dignity returned without celebration. And the relationship, once loud and imbalanced, faded into a careful, permanent quiet.